Hello and welcome back to your mat. Today we're going to work on this central part of our body, otherwise known as the core, or as some people like to refer to it, the dreaded core. We are going to do some core work today, but before you turn the video off, there is not going to be crunches. This is not going to be that kind of core exercise. We are going to be focusing on this entire circumference, this whole area. This is a very central part of our body. So the front, the sides, and the back. And all of this helps to stabilize us in our posture, in our walking, our daily lives. So there's a lot of important aspects of keeping a strong core besides the obvious, we want to look good. Leave that at the door for a moment. We're just going to work on strengthening the central area. So to get started, we're going to start out on all fours. You won't need any props today for today's class, just bring yourself in the mat. So let's get started. So we're going to come into all fours, tabletop position here. And we're going to work on balancing table work. Now I'm going to show you starting with just one limb at a time, and then if you feel like you want to progress to the 2 limbs at a time, you can. Otherwise, just stick with the one. And this is, whichever one you choose, it's going to work your core. You're going to get some strengthening here. So the idea here is to keep your back as straight as possible. Try not to dump into your back. Try to keep your core pulled in and strong here throughout this. So we're going to start out with our right hand. So go ahead and make sure that your wrist are underneath of your shoulders, your knees are underneath of your hips. And from here, you're going to inhale, and you're going to stretch that right arm forward. So we're just going to do the arm first. And you can already feel your core working here just for the one arm. So breathe here. Make sure you breathe during all of this because that's going to also help your balance and your strengthening here. And release that arm down. And now we'll do the left. So inhale and exhale and reach that left arm forward. So again, you're trying to balance here the best that you can, keeping that core engaged. And you should feel something even right here. Now, go ahead and put that arm down. And now we're going to stretch the the right leg back. So right leg will go straight back. My dog is going to be in this video, I'm sure. So that's Miss Josie wandering around. So go ahead and stretch that right leg back. And again, you're going to feel that you have to balance a bit here because you've got one of your limbs is off of the ground. Hold this here for a minute. Keep that leg out straight. Again, don't dump. You want to keep a nice straight flat back here. Exhale, release that. And then go ahead and do the left leg. So left leg will shoot right behind you and out. I've got my toe pointed down, but you can have my toes pointed down, but you can have them flexed. Whatever feels best for you. Breathing here. And then exhale, let that go. Now, balancing table is not just that, it's doing the arm and the opposite leg. So you can choose to just go back with the arms and legs individually, or you can go for, try it out, see how it feels. Stretch that right arm forward and that left leg back. So now you're in this nice long line. You're really having to balance here more. This is obviously more of a challenge. Breathe here. One more. And exhale, let that go. I could definitely feel out more of my core there. So we'll do the other side now. And again, you can just do the arm if you'd like to. And now stretch that left arm forward. And if you feel like it, go with that right leg back. So the opposite leg is going back. The opposite arm is stretching forward. Again, try to pull that core in. I know it's hard and it's tough. Breathe here. Smile. It makes it easier, I promise. And exhale, let that go. And then just sit back on your heels for just a moment. Kind of let that assimilate yourself into you for a moment. So yeah, that was a lot of, you do that a few times a day and you're going to feel some strengthening there. Now we're going to come into our side. So we're going to work on side a little bit here, side strengthening. So if you have trouble with the wrist, for these next few poses, you're welcome to just come down onto your forearms instead of up on your wrist. So I'll show you with the wrist and also show you with the forearms. I'm actually having some wrist trouble, so I'm going to switch over to the forearms. So we're going to do a side plank, but we're going to do a modified side plank. So go ahead and take that right hand and stretch it out a little bit in front of you. So your shoulder is at an angle from your wrist. And then from here, we're going to come into a modified side angle to begin with. So I've got my right leg is bent in a 90-degree angle here. Got my knee on the ground. And I have my left leg straight back behind me. So it is at a nice angle here. So this right here is a balance because you've got everything stacked. And then you can, to add more to it, you can stretch that arm up overhead. And then exhale and let that go. Now you can always, like I said, You can always come down on your forearm and do this. You'll also get that same stretch. I'm going to go ahead and stay up. I kind of lied there. I thought I was going to not be able to do that. Now, to make this more challenging, if this is fine and you want to continue on, then you can take that bottom leg, your right leg, and stack it underneath of your left. So now your left foot is on top of your right. And really, you can feel that side is working. You're working to keep your balance. Hold it, or you can keep your knee down. Exhale and let that go. Come on down for just a moment. Let your wrist go on that one. Okay. Now we're going to do it on the other side. So, catch your breath. And we'll now do the side plank on the left side. So, you're going to have your left hand stretched out in front of you. So again, you want to add it at more of an angle so it's not directly underneath of your shoulder. And then go ahead and place your left knee on the ground, so be bent. And now your right leg will be behind you, will be out straight, stretched out, straight on the mat. My heels on the ground. And stretch that right arm up if you feel steady. If you need to keep it down, go ahead and keep it down. But find where you feel steady. And try not to sink in this left side here. You kind of want to hold that up a bit. Try not to fall over like I just about did. And if you feel steady and you want to go for it, go ahead and straighten out that left leg. Stack your right on top of it. Bring that arm up overhead. And really try to pull this left hip up so it doesn't sink. One more and release that. Nicely done. And you should definitely feel something. I mean, you're definitely working your core, the whole circumference here, the sides and not just the front. Now we're going to do plank pose. Now, I'm going to modify with forearm plank. Pretty much the same thing, you're just on your forearms. So if you would like to, go ahead and come into plank. And you can do plank one of three ways. You can do modified plank, so knees are down. You can come up full plank, knees are off the ground. Your wrists are underneath of your shoulders. Or you can come down to forearm plank. All of these are going to give you the same benefit. Obviously, forearm plank and plank are going to be a little bit tougher, but modified plank is fine too. So forearm plank, you just put your forearms down and rise your hips up and look straight ahead. And you're going to breathe here. Really pull that core in. You should really feel that engaging and working on not only in the front, but also the back body. Couple more breaths, inhales and exhales. You might be shaking. I am. It's okay. It's just working. And exhale and release your knees down on the ground and let that all go for a moment. Whew. And now from here, we're going to take a little break from that. And we're going to stay on our forearms, but now we're going to come into Dolphin. So this is going to kind of work the shoulders a bit, but you're also going to use some core engagement here too. So go ahead and take your hands and clasp them together. Your elbows will be about shoulder width apart. Hands are together, so you kind of got a little triangle going on here. And bring your knees underneath of your hips. And we're going to come into Dolphin. So from here, tuck your back toes, lift your hips up, drop your head, and walk your feet in a bit to where you feel is good. You can have a bend in your knees. This is going to give you some strengthening through your arms. But you're also having to hold yourself up here. So that was also going to translate down to the core. Breathe here. Let that go. Gives you a nice little break. And then bring your knees down and sit back on your heels for a moment. So any one of those you can do, throw that into your day wherever you'd like to. So just a couple of rounds of that every day. You're going to really start to feel your core is activating and is working. Now we're going to do what I would call our peak pose, as if those others are already like peak poses. We're going to do boat pose. So boat pose can be done a couple different ways. There's a few ways to modify it. But what you're going to do is you're going to sit back on your tailbone. So we're going to end up balancing our tailbone. So right now my feet are on the floor, or on the mat. And to begin with, you can have your hands behind you. Turn down if you'd like, whatever feels best for you. And what we can do is raise one leg and then the other leg. So you can keep a nice little bend there in your legs if you'd like. You can keep your hands on the ground. So this is a great place to be. You're going to have a V shape with your body. You should really feel that core working. Or you can progress to the next level. So you decide what's best for you. And from here, you'd have both of your hands underneath your knees. Bring one leg up. And I have a little angle here, so I don't have it straight right now. And then the left leg up, bouncing on that tailbone, keeping your shoulders back, trying to maintain a V with your body. And then if you feel steady and ready, bouncing on your tailbone, let the arms go and put those next to your side. And this is boat pose. Hold it, breathing here. Exhale and hug it in. We're gonna do that twice more. Now the full version of that pose would be to straighten out your legs. So if you feel like you wanna go there, go for it. I'm gonna stick with the bent legs today because I'm on a bit of an incline, so it's already hard enough to balance. So let's try it again. So you pick your version of boat, whatever that might be, hands down on the ground, hands behind your knees, or hands all away. Inhale. Go ahead and get the shoulders back, away from your ears and away from your, open up here so your chest is shining brightly. Bring one leg up, second leg up, balance on that tailbone, and arms, add the arms in if you feel like it, you've got it. Breathing here, feeling that core really engaging here. You can really feel that. And exhale, full, hold, hug it in. I can't even talk. And let's do one more round. Okay, so if you've got it in you, I think you do. Pick your version and come into it. And hold here for 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I lied, one more. Exhale, hug it in. All right, excellent. And from here, we're gonna go ahead and just lie on our back and we're gonna release that excuse me, I didn't want to say core work. Because when we say abs, then we have one thing in mind. And I really like to think of this as the core, and this is the core of us. So let's go ahead and lie back, and we're gonna release the core area that we've been working today. So go ahead and come into a nice bridge pose. So go ahead and have your feet are on the ground, your arms are on the ground, your back is, everything's into the mat. And then go ahead and gently lift those hips up. Any amount. You just want to release all of this that you've been kind of working today. Nice inhale here, exhale. Let all of that go. So you are working through your legs, but you're helping to just release all of that core area that we've been working, the back, the front, the sides. And release, come down, bring your knees into your chest, and we'll just do a quick, simple supine twist. So we're gonna bring both of your knees over to the right. Your left hand will come out to the left. You can look in any direction, what works best for you. Straight up, left, right, pick whichever works for you. Breathe here, just let all of that go, release that. Inhale, bring your knees back up to your chest, and now bring them over, both your knees over to the left, your right arm out to the right. Look in any direction that works best for your neck. Let all that go. Be proud of yourself for today's practice. Short but effective. Inhale, bring your knees back into your chest. And then from here, go ahead and lie back into Shavasana. So spread out your toes, your legs, your arms. Get really comfy on the mat for a moment. I'm going to take that moment to really allow this practice to settle into your body. And we've got some time, so don't feel like you need to rush. So really just let everything go into the mat. I'm going to leave you with a quote, as I always do. But I really hope that in today's practice, you realize that core is not just about physically looking a certain way and making you look a certain way. Having a strong core is going to help with lower back issues. It's going to help with your posture. And a side benefit is, with a nice strong core, then yeah, you'll probably be happy with the way you look. So just a side benefit. Today's quote, go ahead and stay in Shavasana, please, breathing there, is by Amit Ray. Yoga is not just repetition of a few postures. It is more about the exploration and the discovery of the subtle energies of life. I'll say that one more time while you're there. Yoga is not just repetition of a few postures. It is more about the exploration and discovery of the subtle energies of life. I hope that you enjoyed this practice. Come back to it time and time again. I guarantee you after a while, it won't take very long at all. You're going to definitely start to feel a stronger core. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Until next time.